Hello, hello.
Nathan said he'd be back. He lied, so we're going to give you guys another 30 seconds.
Had to refill my water also, so sorry it took 35 seconds approximately.
Sure,
Unacceptable.
you were right. You were back right after, but we got to start these on time. It says 9:10 start. We got to be there at 9:10
Could
Mm-hmm.
never imagine being late.
in 30 seconds.
Oh, look at the puppy.
Sleepy puppy over here. We're trying to get
Any-
some live action howls, but maybe we'll get some snores instead.
Oh,
Oh, hello.
this is the special guest. Since we, said all season we needed to have some special guests. Well, finally we have a special guest for
We
the
do.
Q&A session.
Any questions that we do not like, he will just howl over.
But yeah, hey everybody. So we've got a couple announcements that we'll go over. See if any more people will kind of trickle in. But a couple announcements go over, and then we'll put them in Discord after, of course, because the main vote is going to be in Discord anyway. But then also, C5, little surprise, will actually be rolling their National Signing Day tonight. So hopefully,
Surprise!
if you're in C5, you are tuning in quickly so that you can watch approximately 403 recruits commit tonight. So, it should be a fun
Roughly.
time. And then we'll spend some time doing just general Q&A, general suggestions, questions about next season. If anybody's got some feedback, we'll of course do like a form at the end of the season also where you can put, hey, you should add this or take away this or whatever. But while we're have the extra time, we figured it'd be a good thing to go with. Do y'all have anything before the major thing to say?
Good luck, Baylor.
Yeah, something like that. No. So the main thing which we had put in the announcements and whatnot is that for next season, buy-ins will be increasing. This is because we are. If you've been here for some of the like Q&A or just explaining some of the different system stuff that kind of goes on in the background to running the program and how everything works, and you've seen some of the troubleshooting we've had, a lot of the issues have come from trying to kind of thread the needle of not having the actual licenses to do, everybody having their own license to do the app, or and trying to all get it done with like one like our only license and then a bunch of like external or guest users. And A, that kind of it limits us on a lot of stuff we want to do, and B, the stuff we can do, it makes it take a lot longer and needs a lot more troubleshooting. So next season we'll be taking the step to officially upgrade our entire like system. And with that, we are going to need licenses for everyone. So so let's see, PJS. They are for sure increasing. As of right now, the number is 75. So we're at 55 and we're bumping up to 75 at least, as a cover of the licenses that we're going to be getting. The vote will be to see if anybody wants to go higher than that, because going from 55 to 75 is not going to change the payout. That is entirely just going to be covering licenses
Slightly.
unless there's like, the idea being 75 is where we're at, and we know the licenses will be cheaper than that. But like it won't go above adding the what we're at 55 right now. So adding the $20 for each user, we know the licenses won't go above that. If we come in under that, any other money will go into the payouts. So say if the license ended up being 15 per user instead of 20, then we will if we get if some way somehow that ends up happening, that extra $5 would go to payouts. But that's not really super consequential. We think that it's going to be at about that $20 mark. So don't view the 55 to 75 as we're increasing the prize money. That is all going towards the experience, the app. Towards we'll have our own basically custom app website interface type deal for next season. There won't be the coach books having to be like a separate document with some Excel sheets in the background, and then things going back and forth. It'll all be one streamlined experience. Everybody will have their account, their username and password log, their account for the program. You go to the website, you log in, and you're on your customized experience for the program. All 60 teams, the experience will be unique. It'll have your team history. It'll automatically know who you are, so it brings you to your coach book and can see your conference information. It'll be it'll be a lot more of what we've wanted this experience to be, but we just can't get there without having the individual licenses, because that's what gives us that individualized experience.
It should really help with the all of the access issues that we've ran into at the beginning of the season, and for some people throughout the season. That's we heard a lot of people really upset and frustrated, and it was admittedly not fun for anyone, like on our end either, having to deal with it. So this is going to really help combat that and make it easier for everyone to have their own login. And be able to access it and not have to worry about all of those access issues. So that's one of the biggest quality of life increases that we'll see, and then there will be a lot of enhancing the experience as well, but that one is one of the best.
There's a ton we'll be able to do, and then there's a ton we'll be able to do literally just because we won't be spending those same hours troubleshooting permission issues. Like Tristan won't have to send all these different emails getting people permissions to their coach books. You'll just log into your coach book and you'll be there. The recruiting assistant, Power BI stuff, it won't be, we have a 60-day trial or whatever. No, the recruiting assistant will just be there. It'll be a lot cleaner and save us a lot of time and give us a lot more capacity to do the stuff we want to do to make this experience awesome. Let me see. So do you pay? Let me throw the question. I'm pretty sure that's how we said it's gonna be the same as like right now with you pay up front, league safe, and then we'll distribute from there. Does that sound right, Carl? Is that how we did it this year? Okay, I was about to say
no, because we didn't pay any licenses this year.
Got it. Yeah.
Right.
So that'll be the same way.
They're not going to be paying in addition. They're not paying for a subscription.
Right.
They're paying their dues go up that amount, and we are paying for the licenses, and they will have one of those licenses.
Yes. And now with that, part of that will be that and I'm sure we'll talk about this as we get closer to the next season. It's like making sure those are all in, because it's not just going to buy payouts anymore. Like we'll still be paying for those licenses, even though y'all are paying it all up front at that. So if, those licenses have to be purchased to get through the season. So we'll already be paying that.
I think that answered the question. So yeah, it's not that you're paying for a subscription,
correct,
and you're paying a different amount for the prize pool or anything like that. We are paying for the subscription or the licenses out of the due money, and so that's, to your point, we're going to make sure that all gets squared away and set up and paid into in advance. That was my suggestion, was that Baylor paid for it all. The best I could get them to agree to was that Baylor's entry fee will be at least 150, while everyone else is at least 75. So that's the best I could do.
Yeah. And so to reiterate, because I know we've gotten this feedback a handful of times, like we want people to feel like the effort they're putting in this league is worth it, and we want people to have that buy-in. We've had plenty of people say that we should increase the pay-in so that we can increase the payouts. So that is what the vote is going to be for. Is if we get enough response that we want to actually increase the buy-in more, everything past 75 will be going to payouts. So if we end up voting to bump dues to $100 per season, that additional 25 on top of the 75, that's all going into the prize pool. So hopefully that
makes sense. I mean, my personal opinion is that the experience of this entire league is well worthy of more than a $75 league, which is going to be the minimum that we're at. But it's something that, because everybody has different views and is in different amounts of leagues, and money is a subject that everybody should get a voice in. We wanted to put it up to a vote for what the increase goes up to beyond just to cover the licenses, so that we can do this in a more streamlined way. Because I think everybody we might have a pretty large consensus, but we want to make sure everybody feels heard and kind of gets their voice in there. But I think personally that, I know how much we put into this league, and I play in other leagues where it's just a pretty simple league that are higher stakes than this. And so, we want to kind of reflect that at a spot that everybody feels is appropriate, or at least the majority feels is appropriate.
So any questions about the licensing or what the vote will be over? Anything like that? I think we should.
Or any questions or suggestions for things for next year while we're at. I mean, if you have something else, feel free to bring that up. If you think that Baylor should be limited to 6 recruits next year, whatever it may be. I have a lot of suggestions that are Baylor related, so I'll try to keep them to a minimum.
Because we don't, without getting too crazy into like brainstorming live, but and I won't say that because I feel like we made a bunch of changes that have really gotten our recruiting stuff in a good place. But I mean, with having new capabilities and new and whatnot, like some of the structure may change. We may add different bonus categories. We may change how some of them work. And of course, if we do that, it'll be just like how we always do it. We're not just going to go change something flippantly. It'll be a lot of research and simulation put into it to make sure it makes sense. And all of it with the direction of making it more competitive, yet more realistic. But all that to say that it is a time now that if you have ideas or suggestions that you want to see, now is the time, because as this offseason, as we're updating everything to this new system, we will, as we update the new system, we have the opportunity to add those features in. If somebody has something they're like, man, I'd really like to see, XYZ new feature. Now's the time for us to start working it in.
One thing before we get to this comment is we are going to be continuing to try to increase the kind of importance of the NFL side, because that's something we've heard both from a variety of people and also from myself, since my college team is significantly worse than my NFL team. But knowing that our payout structure is 50-50, and we want to make it as important to have a good NFL team, and if you have a good team on both sides, your team is going to be really strong. So and all of your bonuses. So yes, we can get to this question about the payout structure. I mean, from my standpoint, I think what it would be is kind of just a pretty even distribution across all of the payouts. Because, I think it's definitely going to stay 50-50, but it's just a matter of how much more money, if $150 or $200 total gets added per conference, for example, across the 12 teams in a conference, $50 more could get split between the or $100 to get split between college and NFL payouts. So maybe that's
right,
50, 30, 20 or something along those lines. But
the proportions will probably stay similar. Like the structure will probably stay similar. It's just the amounts. And I think what Minnesota was kind of asking for is when we start putting together like, hey, vote for this amount, we can include like what the change in the payouts will be next to that, if that'll make it easier for everybody. Like we can say, hey, this is what you paid. These were the payouts. Okay, if we go to this, it'll be these payouts, XYZ. That's not too crazy math to do.
Yeah.
I think Heisman has its own bonus, so I don't think we'd give an award for Heisman winner because you get that boost come recruiting the next season. Points for, I mean, that can be something that we think about because that is a skill to score the most points. Talk to Stanford; he supposedly scores the most points, but just can't get to the championship.
And score them in the right weeks. Oh, there we go. I mean, I think personally, I'm all in favor of doing things that keeps people engaged throughout the year, understanding that not everybody wants to be fully engaged all the time. So, I think that off-season things like a transfer window in the off-season is something that, I think that if we can figure out a way that makes it fit within our structure, an off-season thing like that would be fun. I know we've also talked in the past about some off-season like hype activities, things that may or that we may look into. But yeah.
What I will say is there's probably a much higher % chance that something like that would come online next off-season. Like basically with this off-season, so much of the work's going to go towards transitioning to the new system. But we can make those changes with that kind of stuff. And like, if we're going to say, hey, starting next offseason, we're going to have this transfer portal, we'll get all that set up this offseason to where it flows with the new system. So definitely a good idea.
I do like that idea of having hype spends in the off season to try to basically sark Isaiah Bond off of a team.
Yeah. I think it's a good idea.
You purchased a Lamborghini.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you tampered with another team's recruit. You have a 10% chance of being caught.
Yeah.
Would you like to continue?
There's a lot we could do. Make it almost a second recruiting season is over the off season, just trying to keep your people.
Your players realize they go to school in Waco, -50 hype.
Hey, they've got Dr. Pepper and Bluebell
over here.
But something along that lines I think would be a good idea. And I think will be a lot more doable going forward is, if we don't have to spend off season dealing with as many issues. That and the new system and the licenses will also mean a much more straightforward timeline because the licenses are all paid like month by month. So, for example, if we say, hey, we're getting X amount of licenses for this many months, like that is just when the recruiting window is going to be. It's going to be, okay, here's these 12 weeks.
Here's when it's
that is recruiting.
Happen. Yeah.
Right. Instead of it being, there won't be like, we'll have it all planned out ahead of time. So there shouldn't be as much like, oh, we're just running behind or, oh, we need to skip a week, or it'll be like, hey, here's the calendar. Here's what's going to happen when, and we're sticking to that because like, that's what we've paid for. So, that being said, that may run into some things with the idea of doing an off season, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Well, it wouldn't be necessarily recruiting. You could spend hype in the off season without needing the access.
I wonder
because that's just a form.
Yeah, I got some ideas. We'll see.
All right. Well, you can continue to throw your questions in the chat. We'll start C5 National Signing Day. congrats. I only had to run a 100-yard dash 6 times in order for C5 to finally win one. Did I do that? Yeah, I did.
That's awesome.
Congratulations, C5. You will be the first conference to get full class of commitments. I, of course, was the first university to hit 15. If anyone forgot.
First one to hit 16 too.
Also,
Yeah.
first to hit 16. Yeah.
That's the truth.
There will probably be teams hitting 16 and dropping back just based on how their priority lists are, and we can't line them all up perfectly. So we may have some backtracking in here, but we will get it done right. So,
Yeah.
As we always say at Texas Tech, quantity, not quality.
They say quality.
I'm pretty sure that's the same.
Okay.
All right.
We are starting with the only steal attempt in Conference 5.
Sweet. Who is that?
Good old Miles O'Neill, 369.
Let's see. Dun-da-da. Uh-oh. Northwestern going to start out by doing something. I think they've got a lot of stuff to do tonight. So let's see if
They have 12 spots to fill.
this is the first one.
Do something.
What just happened to it?
No idea. Oh, I know what happened because I didn't go in and do that ahead of time.
So it's happening
one
on the
moment,
back
please.
end.
Yeah, it's on the back end. I know what it is. It's did you hard code all of the ready? All of them need to be ready locked.
Yep,
Yeah,
it is. You can now refresh and you will see him in there. And then we can reveal where he went.
I know where he went.
I do too.
What number was it?
369.
Did you hard refresh though? You didn't. You went back to the homepage. You have to refresh the full app. No, go back again. Refresh the full app.
I did.
Did you try turning it off and turning it back on?
No, but that's what I'm about to have to do.
That's what you gotta do.
Just going through this 4 times. That was the magic. You ready for this?
Yep. 369.
Dang it. Okay. Well, so was it?
Anyways, congratulations, Northwestern.
Yeah, congratulations, Northwestern. Let me reopen the app. Was it not before, and you're saying you did now, or what?
Yeah, he was on show, but he wasn't ready locked.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Do something. If somebody wants to address USF.
Yeah. So the answer is yes, we are increasing the $20 amount. That part is definitely happening. We're going to $75 at minimum. And if people want to vote to make it more than that, that is what we're going to be voting on. So we're going to have a few options in the Discord vote. One of them will be 75, and we'll probably have a couple higher than that. We'll obviously tag everyone when we go ahead and make that vote, but that part is happening.
Yep. And we can say that we would love if it was free.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Google Sheets itself, I don't think you understand the amount of work that was done on the back end when it was Google Sheets. And now we're able to play this game without seeing everything. So it helps so much on that side too.
Well, that and there was so much work put in just to only do the baseline, like the most basic level of just, point times 2 equal 2 point. Here you go. Like there was a lot less going on, but we had to do a lot more work to get that done. So.
All right. So
he's there now.
Yes. Continue with the questions. I'm focused on 2 separate other screens.
Yeah.
While this is happening. Next up, Jake Merklinger.
All right.
Thankfully, we can go at the top.
Yeah. Considering we have oh wow,
Of course,
we
Arkansas.
paid. Why not? Yeah, of course.
Woo pig.
Considering we have so many, we're probably not going to spend too much time, giving their weights and favorite colors this week.
Yep.
Maybe
This
a
is-
little bit of time for their zodiac sign, but probably just going to be
Scorpio.
rolling this weekend.
Yeah, Arkansas has one spot remaining.
There you go.
Solo commits, we're not really going to talk about them, but they're happening if you look on
They're
the screen.
happening.
Next up is Ashton Bethel Roman. This will decide if Arkansas is full or not.
And woo pig.
There we go.
Congratulations.
Okay.
Okay, so that means you need to remove. Are you removing Arkansas, or are we just going to roll and then?
So Arkansas's other ones, I believe, are taken care of.
Sweet.
So this guy is no longer part of it.
Do you need me to give you time or just move forward?
Your next guy is going to be Jordan Anderson, so you can roll Anderson.
There you go. Or Ron J.
He's going to Syracuse.
Syracuse. Or I guess here I can pull the. Let me see, because the order should be here. Okay,
All right. Next up, Joseph Stone. He is number 275. Minnesota said goodbye to a player for a chance at Joseph Stone, and he gets.
And he said,
going
"Psych."
to Northwestern.
He wanted to do something.
And that means Darian Dupree is Minnesota's 15th commit. Just let me find him on here real quick.
I'm trying to pull up the little order tab. Actually, here, let me take a.
Your next guy. Oh,
That doing something on my. Yeah, it is cool. Don't do that.
mine just had to reload. National Signing Day is a blast, guys.
Yeah, it's super smooth and not different at all from the regular weeks where we roll like 20. It's the exact same when you're having to roll.
You know what would be really fun is if we figured out a way to incorporate, like, hey, you only took 12 players last year. You actually have 3 extra scholarships next year.
Ooh.
We could probably do that. That wouldn't be too crazy.
Just like in real life, they have X amount of scholarships for their team. And you can
The
have
things we could
X
do
number of
once
scholarships and walk-ons.
once we have our licenses. It's like we've only had our permit so far. You know, we've been able to drive, but still need an adult in the car. Next year we'll actually be driving.
To be fair, I still do.
Next up for you is number 310, Jamari Colley.
Let's see. Northwestern's been hot. Nope. Sorry. I said something. I jinxed you. And that's going to be Cincinnati. Are they full? Do we have who's
They're not. Cincinnati's got a ways to go.
They have 9 now, I believe.
Okay, there you go.
That sounds right. All right. Next up is number 378, Jordan Ross.
14th cousin of John Ross.
And third
He
of
is
Rick
going
Ross.
to ASU. All right. Next up, number 708, Trey Griffiths.
I'm going to just be honest. I'm pretty happy that I didn't make all these graphics right now.
Trey Griffiths going to ASU. You're welcome for that, Tristan.
Yeah. Thank you.
I was about to say the amount of like puzzle solving gymnastics that is done by a certain someone.
It's not me.
Between the three of us, to put these in an order that both like works, but then also has like 17 different contingency orders is pretty astounding. So
it's the benefit of being in real estate. So I understand contingencies. 490, Gabriel Winowich. And Winanene.
Oh.
Another fork.
How many forks we got?
We got 3 forks left.
Okay.
All right,
The
next up,
silverware drawers
219,
is
Ivan
getting a
Carrion.
little stuffed. I like Carry On.
I need the team's width list to fill up, so that way we can just roll in order.
Just roll, yeah. Nice.
Northwest are was that Ivan Carrion?
In my
Beautiful.
opinion, very good get there,
248.
Jarek.
248's your next guy. Isaiah Kanayan.
Oh, that's a three-peat there. Doing the
Wham,
three-peat.
bam.
And the nice thing is, since we don't have a transfer portal set up, these guys can't be stolen
What? For now.
until next year.
Until
Next up is 509. Yep, Jaden Bach.
Bach. Oh. Well, there you go. UC of the SDs.
Congratulations. Oogst. All right, you got Isaiah Williams. Perfect. You have the
Yeah.
list now.
I do have the list up now.
That's very quickly falling apart.
Yes. Oh, Northwestern getting upset because they needed that. But
that might be
hoot.
15 for. It's slow to catch up. That might be 15
That's 14, but I have
Okay.
15 coming up because
There
he
you
is
go.
a solo commit,
Oh,
and his name is Jadon Matthews.
where's he?
Thank you. He is number 1050. He's way down there.
There he is. Dun, dun,
So
dun.
Florida Atlantic is full.
Hoot hoot. The other hoot hoot.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm just going to clear some of this up here for us.
Let me
Okay.
see.
Next
I lost
up,
track of where that's next. No, we did 354. So next is sample.
660. Yep.
Lots of Arizona State and Northwestern in tonight. Oh, and there we go. They get an upset right back.
That's 11.
Impressive.
Be impressive if Northwestern and fills up next.
That would be
All
hilarious.
right. Next up, Jeremiah Melvin.
I almost want them to be in on every single recruit now, just to see that happen.
I just want to let you know that they are in on a lot.
Hey,
Contingencies in place on guys they're in on.
Oh, I
These
guess
guys
that's
are just-
true.
These guys are just high up on other teams' lists. Okay. Chance Robinson.
Widowy Robinson. And Syracuse.
Syracuse has 4 spots open. Next up, Anthony Carey.
Not quite as fun as Carry On, My Wayward Son. Oh, and Northwestern in gets another one.
that's 13.
And is that
For now.
through the priority list? Are we now?
It
That's-
is. So now we're going to go back in order.
Nice.
I do have some that need to be opposites. Let's see. Zachariah Semple went elsewhere. Jamari Calling. We can do Kanan Daniels. He is 342.
There he
I think
is.
I'd have these memorized by now because of how many times I checked the numbers. Fear the Spork.
I thought they were stab.
You know what? I don't know.
They are stabbed out.
We need to have them like
We need.
it needs to be
We're going to make
written
a
in big
form
letters.
for people to
Okay.
fill out for their school slogan.
We need to have an active list to remind ourselves.
Let's do Tovani Mizell.
Stab, indeed.
I don't have his number memorized. He is
San Francisco?
586.
What would we do without Blake
We
relocating?
don't have
Uh,
University of California, San Francisco.
No, they just relocated them
What?
to
Okay.
from San Diego to San Francisco.
Move them
I'm-
around a little.
I do want a UCSF helmet from Blake, though.
That
Yeah.
would be pretty cool.
If we could get it
Actually,
like 5 minutes ago, that would be
You
great.
can leave Tovani. JJ signed. Joseph Stone gone. Okay. Go in order now.
Okay. Let's see. Who is Micah Gilbert? Oh, an upset for the Boomer.
Go. Okay, Boomer.
Okay, Boomer. Does that make
All right.
Jeremy Payne a solo to Cincinnati?
I just got to check his numbers. How many does he have open?
No, he's fine. Cincinnati, he's fine.
Yeah, how many does he have though? Because it's a certain number down
He
his
has
list.
6 open. Sorry,
6 open.
he has nine recruits.
1. Okay, gone.
Oh, sneak peek.
Yep, he is. You can roll Payne. Then it saves me from having to.
Da-da-da.
Congratulations.
It was a hard fought battle.
Okay, so Stacy Gage is actually going to end up at Cincinnati. They are
What?
in on him. They're just didn't have enough. Arkansas had him locked out. So I just need to go to Stacy Gage and erase Arkansas.
So
Wow.
Cincinnati is now +2, so they're at 11. They just got that solo, and then they are getting Stacy Gage.
Which I did
Yeah,
roll the
I just
solo,
gotta
so it should
figure
be
out-
on your numbers, Tristan.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Blake is probably team 2-5. I think that's right.
Oh gosh. Whoever came up with this idea of giving all the teams IDs, shame on them. It's so confusing to remember.
Oh, look. Okay, where's Stacy Gage?
279.
Yep, I can do it. Boom. Okay, Stacy Gage going to Cincinnati.
Okay.
All right, now we're still in order.
Let me see if I refresh, if it'll
You probably have to
grab that.
fully refresh it, right?
I hope
Yeah,
not.
that's not a
'Cause
full. That's not a
last
full
week-
refresh.
last week it was catching it. It might
Oh,
just
no,
be
it
delayed.
worked.
So I'll come back. Oh yeah, see, look.
It worked.
Boop-a-doo.
Oh, perfect.
Okay, so now Bryce Kane is in fact stabbing people.
Bryce Kane is he's not stabbing anybody yet. He's lower down on their
Yes.
list.
Okay.
So go to Hawkins.
Hawkins.
And he's also going
Oh, wait.
straight to Cincinnati.
Yeah, I was about to say pigs are full up, so
I will put it in the back end so you don't have to worry
Got
about
it.
rolling. See
Mosley.
the fun we have here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
Mosley.
Arizona State full enough or empty enough that I can
There's
roll theirs if I run
13.
across them?
Don't roll him. He's
Okay.
lower down on their list.
Got it.
He's actually so low. He's not even on it.
What
Also don't roll him. Keep going.
keep on.
Find the next opening. Find the next one. And the next one.
Hey, look, it's Syracuse.
Yeah. Syracuse getting Jalen something. Hornsby.
Hornsby.
Congratulations.
Yep, roll
Yay.
that.
Woo!
Yasin Willis.
The
Give him a
color
good roll.
orange.
I like Willis. That's a good one, orange.
All right. Cameron Jones.
Ooh,
Northwestern
There we
still
go.
has spots, right?
They both have 2 spots.
Okay. Northwestern actually technically might have more.
Right.
gasp.
Okay.
Hey,
Ooh.
there you go. Northwestern doing
Cameron
something.
Jones. Okay.
We got a
Kayvon
Memphis.
Sibley. Memphis is full.
Okay,
That is correct.
you get nothing.
And you
Tovani
like
Mizell. We will
Round.
roll Tovani.
We will roll.
heads will roll.
Oh, there you go.
So we're gonna have to figure out Northwestern now, right? Because that's 15 that we've rolled, but
Correct. So anybody they have below that they may be a yes on, like Marshall Sanders was a solo, so he's just not going to roll.
Got
So
it.
don't roll Sanders. I will get rid of him on the back end since we're in the right rolls here. He's gone. Okay.
Jules Goff
so
with
sample would
Cincinnati.
be Yule's Goff.
To Cincinnati.
Was Jeremiah Melvin before that? Yep. So Melvin
Yeah.
stays there. So he's gone here. Tovani Mizell went to Northwestern, right?
Mm-hmm.
That sounds
he's
correct.
killing it. All right. Can you roll Taya Nakua? He's at the bottom.
The literal bottom. Well, it's a solo to Cincinnati, but yes.
And then can you
Ta-da.
roll Jules Goff?
Jared's cousin.
And then your next roll is going to be Darian Witten, who's a little bit higher up.
Oh, going back. Back it on up. Put it in reverse, Terry. What'd you say? Hall? No, you said Witten.
Darian Witten, that one. Demarion, sorry. All right. Cincinnati should be full after you roll that one.
Dun, dun, dun.
So any with Cincinnati moving forward, we're saying deuces to.
Say, see
Sample-
you later.
Okay. Is Sample the lowest Northwestern commit?
I see a Cameron Jones. I see Melvin. Sample looks like it. Yeah, I don't see
Nobody
any
below? Okay.
of these
perfect.
solos that we didn't roll.
Correct. Okay. Jamari Colley went
Glover.
elsewhere. Where'd Jamari Colley? Okay, there he is. Anthony Carey went elsewhere. All right. Can you roll Jalen Washington?
Yeah. I say that if I can find them. Where are they at? There they are. Dun, dun, dun.
And Dylan Messman?
And is
And
that
that will
Arizona
put-
State full?
That will put Arizona State full.
Correct.
Is
Okay.
there anybody in C5 that is not full?
Northwestern. Yeah, there are teams that aren't full.
UCSD, Wake Forest, Syracuse, Houston.
Got it. Or I guess that are not full that have anybody else they have tried to recruit.
That I can't answer.
Got it. I will refresh and see if I've caught anything Carl has done. Are you removing
refresh
points
yet.
from these?
I'm not removing points. I'm
or yeah.
removing solo commits elsewhere. But I think
Yeah.
we are
So
all set
Xavier
in the land of C5.
Xavier
Try
Gayton
refreshing now.
is
That,
not
well, if you
rolling.
refresh, he's gone. Yeah.
Got it.
Arkansas and Northwestern are both full. And they
Yeah,
were the
we're
only
looking,
teams in on him.
Looking good. There we go. That's everybody.
Boom.
See? We did it.
We did it. That didn't take nearly as long as it could have.
It
That's
did not-
because, I'm going to be honest, C5 was the easiest one to do. That is
Good
why
job,
I rolled
C5.
6 times to get C5 to go first.
That's why your runner got steroids.
Great job, C5, being easy.
We're proud of you.
I should have actually-
Congratulations.
I should have done a race of just C5, one person running. That would have been the best. I missed out on an opportunity.
You should have done it with two people, C5 and skipping, and seeing if they could lose to skipping, getting to roll.
right,
Congratulations. You made it through your first recruiting season in
You
the
survived.
program TM.
Barely.
I like all of you infinitely more than Baylor. So, I
Yeah,
don't
we
know.
did have only 8 schools filled out all of their scholarships.
Wow. So 4 schools just winging it.
Yes. And just
Yeah,
for
that's right.
clarity, even if you recruit 15 and it comes to the walk-on draft and you're like, I don't like this Jaden Matthews guy anymore, or I don't like this Peyton Waters guy, I don't even know why I put points on him. You can pull him then. You can say goodbye to him, send him
Right.
walking, and it doesn't cost you any hype.
After
But it
National
will open up
Signing
a
Day
spot
is
for a
over,
walk-on. Yes.
after they have signed the dotted line, you are no longer of pulling a commitment. You are cutting them from the team. So
Right.
that is.
But don't
scary.
send us those cuts when we put them on your roster, then just cut them.
Yes, it'd be the same as if you were cutting a junior or sophomore on your team.
If you're bringing
Which-
your bags and they're Louis.
Which you might just do.
True.
Any other questions, suggestions, anything of that sort?
Loud noises, screaming.
Can you name the 5 NFL teams that wear black for their home jerseys?
Saints.
Falcons.
That's the only ones that matter. We don't talk about Falcons here.
Steelers. Yeah, FAU, we didn't announce every solo commit, but you got CJ Brown, Ohifami Ejibabu, Duke Watson, and Jaden Matthews.
What was that
I
name?
butchered that name.
Please say it.
Ohifami Ejiboy.
Excellent.
This guy. I'll make these guys say it.
Please do.
Yeah, let's see what you got.
That is clearly.
Yeah,
Oh, hi, Fame. It's your boy.
That's where I was going to go.
that is a made-up name.
That is, they said, we need another recruit quick, and they just went on the keyboard, and then
That is also not an unknown player. I'll just throw that out there.
That's a real person.
That is not a requested recruit. Thank you, sir.
Sco Buffs.
Go
What
Tigers.
were we talking about before we got thrown off by that?
We have 3 of the 5 NFL teams that
Oh.
wear black home jerseys.
Black is their home jersey. The Raiders. That's silly.
Panthers.
Why couldn't we think of the Raiders?
Are the Panthers home black or home
I
blue?
think the Panthers are.
They're home black.
I thought they were home blue.
They're home black.
I think their color rush is
Their
blue.
blue is alternate.
Yeah.
Can you name the 30
it's any
NFL teams
NFL
that
player.
wear white on the road?
What?
I didn't hear. Y'all were both
Can you
asking
name the
questions.
30 NFL teams that wear white on the road?
All of them but Dallas.
And
And
Carolina doesn't have a white.
silver, isn't it?
Or
Like,
do they have a white?
They have
No,
silver.
they have a white.
They have a white.
I was just making up a statistic.
There you go. Thought you were going to give me an NFL player and tell me to name their college. But
I also wanted you to list the 30 teams that wear white on the road, not the ones that don't.
oh well,
You did say everyone but Dallas. Miami likes to wear their whites at home too
Yeah.
true.
and overheat the away sideline.
Yes.
Respect.
All right. Well, until next National Signing Day, it will be a little bit longer because we have 4 conferences to get through.
Yeah.
We have 3
Thank you for those
Bill.
who submitted priority lists. If you didn't
Yeah.
submit one, maybe, just maybe, I'll reach out and ask. Or if you send me one, I'll think about using it.
Mhm.
But if it gets to the point where I have your conference locked in, I will not be using your priority list because it's late. But yeah, otherwise, row the boat, Sky Yuma.